And we're now joined by head coach of the Trenton Devils, Kevin Dean. Trenton makes its second trip to Johnstown for its second road trip against a team that doesn't even play here regularly. Coach, how are you tonight?
I'm doing great. That is a little bit unusual, but no, doing well. Excited to start the game here.
And you guys have played only 7 games so far this season. You played twice against Wheeling. That was the first road trip. And since then, you guys have only played 3 games, and you have points in each of those 3 games. Meanwhile, Wheeling has played 6 games in that span of time. And sort of just a weird thing in the schedule. Does that favor one side or the other early on?
I don't know. I really don't know. I think we're a young team. I think the practice helps us this time of year. However, I don't think, having a week off between games every week is ideal either. So there'd be some balance of maybe one game in midweek in each of these first 3 weeks would have been great. But, it is what it is, and we just have to deal with it.
You guys have only played 1 game in the last 13 days. It was an overtime win. We'll talk about that. Jeff Pro has the game winner. One of the guys that, of course, you'll rely on is his offensive ability is about as strong as anyone's on the team. He's led the team in points and goals the last couple of years. Talk about Jeff and the importance of Jeff maybe getting on the right track here, getting that 3rd goal of the season, and of course the game winner.
Well, he's a gifted player offensively. Like he goes to the net, he goes to difficult areas to score, and he's got a great shot. So that combination makes him a dangerous player offensively. He made a great play in the overtime goal there. He stripped the guy of the puck, turned around, and wasted no time snapping a good shot on net. And that's what you expect from him. He's a shooter for sure. He takes good shots. And over time, his line mates will appreciate that, and they'll start getting to the net for those, and they'll get some greasy goals because of it.
Jeff Pro might be a scorer. You also saw good games from Dan Charleston, who's maybe a good assist guy, and Matt Lombardi, who scored a couple of goals, but he's maybe not as big of a scorer or an assist guy, but a hard work guy. Talk about maybe those 3 guys and what they contributed very significantly last game.
Well, Dan Charleston made some great plays in the power play. The first, he assisted the first power play goal, and then he made just an unbelievable pass on the first power play goal there in the 3rd period. He made a great pass back door to Nole. He's he's got great vision. He's got pace that's, really quick, faster than, most guys in this league. So the combination of his skill, his pace, and his ability to see the ice just makes him really dangerous. Matt Lombardi, he's been in and out of the lineup. We've talked about him playing to his strengths, and he certainly did that last game. He's a big guy. He's got great speed. He's got a great shot, and he's strong on the puck. And he utilized all that last game. And in doing so, he scored a couple of goals because he employed those tools he has.
And you and I talked a lot about Matt, and we talked with Matt at our radio show along the boards earlier this week. I didn't ask you the question because we didn't have time, but Matt comes from Boston College, a program that has had a lot of success, winning 2 national championships there, very successful as an Eagle. How much does that help, having a winning pedigree, making the transition to professional hockey? Because a lot of guys can do well in college or in juniors, but to actually have a winning career, what does that do for a player?
I think his mindset is probably a little calmer. He's a little more balanced on a night-to-night. He's played in big games. He's played probably 2 or 3 national championship games, and I think he won 2 of them. So big games aren't going to rattle him. He's not going to be intimidated by an opposing player who might have good numbers because he played with great players at BC, played against all the great players in the big games. And so I think he's probably bringing in a more, workmanlike attitude, more like, I played against these guys, I can handle them. And, he can rely on these big games to, to pull him through a midseason game like tonight.
And you guys will go against the Nailers tonight, who you saw, as we talked about a couple weeks ago. You lost both games. One was here and a 4-1 loss. The next night you played a lot better, but still lost in a back-and-forth sort of game. How much can you take from those 2 matchups into tonight's game, as much as you can scout a team, or does that not really matter?
Well, I think they're a big team that protects the puck well. They do very well in the offensive zone, grinding and getting pucks to the net. They're big bodies. We know that. We talked about our defensemen staying between our guy and the net, not running around in our own end and just, playing simple hockey. I think we're a different team than we were the last time we're in here. We certainly shored up our defense quite a bit in the last 3 games, so I'm hoping it's not going to be quite as open tonight and more of a, just get the puck into their end and use our speed and our forechecking ability to carry the play, much like we did in Wheeling that night. I thought we played very well that night in Wheeling, just didn't get away with the win.
And perhaps, especially the younger guys, taking a lesson from the very shallow corners here in the lively boards and the smaller ice surface. We'll see how that plays out tonight. Talk about goaltending. You go from Dave Caruso making a league record 67 saves in a shootout loss to Dave Caruso giving up 3 goals in the first half of the first period and getting pulled. Dave's sort of a level-headed guy, is able to swallow it pretty well, and you'd figure he'd come back and be able to handle it, but he's not here tonight. He gets the chance to go up to Albany, trickle down from Marty Brodor's elbow, McKenna gets the call up, and so on and so forth, and long story short, Dave is in Albany tonight.
Yeah, and Dave's an excellent goalie. I've seen him play in the American League and win games, single-handedly up there. I called Dave in after that game and said, Dave, you're our guy. You're coming again Friday. You're going to be in the net for us Friday. I think he was relieved to hear that. This is a great opportunity for Jeff tonight. He can grab our attention with a good performance tonight and get some confidence and get his season rolling so that we have confidence and he can play more than just the back-to-back or the 3-3 or whatever it is. So this is a good opportunity. That's how young players and players are just breaking in need to understand when there are injuries and call-ups. That's their time to shine, and let's bring what you got to the table.
And Lurg comes in and gives up just the 1 goal, and you guys are able to come from behind and ultimately win that game against the Cyclones in overtime. But also when you make that goaltending change, sometimes that just affects the whole psyche of the team where the guys will sort of realize, hey, we just let down our goaltender. We've got to support the next guy. Lurg played pretty well, and as we talked about, only gave up the 1 goal in that game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've said it before, all we expect from our goalies is to make the stops. You should. We don't expect you to win games for us every night because, that's the team's job. You win and lose as a team. So, we had a lot lower shots against last game. We're going to, hopefully that'll carry through tonight, and Jeff won't see 40 shots. He'll see more like 25, and that would be great. So, you win and lose as a team, and I just think, goaltending is certainly a huge, you can't win without good goaltending, but, you can certainly win with average goaltending. That's if the team's playing well. And, we just want our goalies to play average and make the stops they should.
And Bronx native Anthony Felice will be Jeff Lurg's emergency backup for the game tonight, and he's already appeared as a backup with Albany earlier this season. Another guy that maybe with another aspect of the game that we haven't seen too much this year is Taylor Vachorik. Taylor's a guy who's 6'8", 250 pounds. He's playing defense because of some issues in personnel injuries and so forth. But he gets into a fight last game. We haven't really seen too much of that. The importance of Taylor specifically getting involved in that side of the sport.
Well, he's a big kid, young kid. He's got some tools that should develop over time. He's going to kind of have to feel his way out on that the fighting side of it. I think that's an asset he certainly brings to the table. He's just going to have to get comfortable with it, when to use it, when not to use it. When to step up and protect his teammates. When, the game is tight, you got to back off, but, do what you got to do. So, it's going to be a learning process for him. I thought that was a great thing he did the other night. He did very well in the fight. I think it's going to give him confidence that, he's a big guy and not many guys are going to be able to land punches on him. He was very patient. He started the fight. He fought a very smart fight. And, gave the guy a pretty good wallop there, knocked him down.
And we'll see Taylor in the lineup again tonight. Out of the lineup is Justin Pender, second-year defenseman. Back into the lineup off of IR is Gord Burnett. The last game that Gord played in the regular season anyhow for the Devils was in South Carolina last year and hurt his arm in a fight. He's one of those tough guys and a veteran defenseman. He's one of the guys who's been around a long time, at least on this roster. The importance of getting Gord Burnett back, and how's his progress been recovering from the IR?
Oh, I think it's been great. I didn't know Gord last year, but I guess he's dropped like 20 pounds. His skating looks fantastic. He works hard. He's positive. He's just a great guy to have around the locker room, and he's tough. He sticks up for his teammates. He's a great teammate every which way you can slice it. So, Gord's been working extremely hard at practice. About a week ago, he got his back and hip ready to go. So, there's no sense in waiting any longer to play him. He's ready to go, and he deserves a shot to play.
So Justin Pender gets tonight to rest. He's been a guy we've seen on the power play at the blue line along with Trevor Kell. With Justin not in the lineup, how does that affect your power play squad?
Well, there's going to be new guys back where Justin was in the power play. And, again, Justin's role there was just to get the shots through. And, he didn't do a great job of that last game, but for the most part, he's done a good job. So, whoever we put back there, we'll go over it with them and say, look, you get the puck here, you're shooting it. And, keep it a little bit more simple. So, not put anyone in a position they can't succeed, and they should be fine.
Lines tonight, what are you thinking in the combinations for your 3 sets of 3?
It's going to be the same lines basically as the last game, the exact same 3 lines. I think, again, that Nagy's line with Berube, Lombardi, and or Akeson is extremely difficult to play against. They're big guys. They all can skate. They like to hit. They like to get the puck deep and chase it. So I think that's a great line. When that line's going,